Howdy doody.
Hi there.
Tyler. Keith. We're here to talk about the new Machine Head album, Catharsis. This is their 9th album, the first since 2014's Bloodstone and Diamonds. And I think without a doubt, this will probably be one of the most controversial albums of the year.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And one of the most divisive, for sure. There's a lot of stuff on here.
There's interesting stuff going on.
So, we've jammed the shit out of it. A lot of people are piling on this album. Maybe for good reason. Who knows? What do you think? Let's dive into it.
First listen to, I was kind of getting what everybody was saying about this album, oof. But then more listens to, some of the songs kind of grow on me a little more. There are, I do think some of the songs are good. The Beyond the Pale and Catharsis, when they put those out, I'm these songs are good. They're not the best thing. But then, the song Bastards, I really don't know. And Kaleidoscope is another one that I'm not the biggest fan of. And there's a couple other, weird songs like that. Triple Beam's a little weird. I don't know. But, there's a lot of good moments on this album. And I feel like maybe that's the one thing that kind of brings it down, is that for the most part, it's just that. There's moments. And there's not really... there's one song that, the whole song I genuinely like. And it is... I really like Behind a Mask.
Yes, me too.
That's and that's because I think the problem with all the other songs is that, this is a little bit more, I guess, new metal, you could say. They kind of go back to that a little bit. But there's every once in a while, there's, hints of, from stuff from, the last 3 albums. The pre-chorus of Volatile. I think about that, where there's, the dual, harmony thing that reminds me of, Halo. I'm there's that, but then that kind of just accentuates the fact that everything else isn't like that, and maybe, at least in my opinion, it's sometimes not as good. And then whereas Behind a Mask is completely different, and that's why I like it so much. And it's that's the best song from the album. But there's other songs the Razorblade Smile, which is the second to last song. I kind of was listening to it earlier, and I'm if this song was earlier on the album, I might actually like it. Because I like a lot of the riffs behind it, but it's the vocals. A lot of the problem with this album is the lyrics and the vocal delivery. But it's weird because sometimes Rob Flynn, I do think, and a lot of times he does sound genuinely as good, if not better. Again, Behind a Mask, I think is the vocals in that song are very, very good. But it's this almost the talky kind of pattern that a lot of the songs have. It's kind of overdone on the album, and so I really like the riffs in that song in Razorblade Smile. I'm there's good music, but but it's just, after listening to the whole album and getting to that, I'm alright, I'm kind of tired of this kind of idea. And that's sort of the whole issue. California Bleeding has a cool riff, and there's a lot of songs that have there's a cool moment, and that's again my whole thing. Heavy Lays the Crown is another example of that. I'm I see there's good parts of this song, but then again it's a couple moments here and there, and there's riffs. But I think to me that's the one thing that maybe kills this album. It would be just the lyrics,
yes,
and the vocal delivery. Everything I could deal with everything else, but it's just that's the one part. And that's the thing. I get going and doing something different because maybe the last 3 albums, doing kind of the similar, samey kind of thing. I get that, and they have every right to do whatever they want. But I don't know.
It doesn't make it good.
It doesn't make it good
because it's different. It doesn't make it good. You know what I mean?
You have, as a band, you have every right to make whatever kind of music that you want. But then I also have every right to just not like that.
Yes, exactly.
And that's the thing, there's moments, and I initially really hated this album, and I'm but then listening to it, I'm I kind of took notice of more of the moments, and I'm okay, there's some good stuff. It's just, there's just a lot of just mud to kind of crawl through to get to those gems on the album, and I feel that's just the main issue.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like I said, I like Volatile, it's okay. Catharsis and Beyond the Pale are pretty good. I'd say, again, the only song I would genuinely say really good, and I actually really, really like the song, is Behind a Mask. I fucking love that song.
And to me, because I agree with you, and the first time I listened through this album, that song really stood out to me as something that was really well written, and I'm like, this is something different from Machine Head. This sort of just slower style and a lot of vocal harmony and stuff. This is different, and this is good. Bastards is different, and it is not good.
No, like,
you know,
I don't, and I don't mean this to sound like almost like a curse or like a swear or anything like that, but like it almost sounds like in how a lot of bands eventually go that maybe this album was written like, hey, maybe, you know, again to kind of almost, I don't want to say commercialize because I don't think any of the stuff on this album except for would ever end up on the radio, but you know what I mean, to be more accessible, that's the word. Yeah, thank you, that's the word. It's just a lot more accessible, and I just feel like that's not what made Machine Head popular. You know, what made them popular was songs like Halo, and they did cool stuff on their last album. Sailing to the Black is my favorite song from their last album. That was completely different, but like they don't really do anything like that here, and I don't hate the album. I there's just a lot wrong with it.
For sure. Yeah, I don't 100% hate this album, and I think people are dogpiling on it a little bit just to dogpile on it.
Yeah.
You know, because that's the hot thing in metal right now, is this album. But there's reasons certainly why people should and could potentially. I could totally see someone saying this album is a complete breath of fresh air for Machine Head. And go, okay, that's fine. It doesn't make it good in my eyes, you know. The second, third time through, the first 3 tracks really did stand out to me as like, this isn't bad at all. Volatile, it feels very Slipknot-like with its riffs, and it's fucking mean, and it's in your face. And I'm like, I enjoy this. Catharsis has a really, really catchy chorus that I really enjoyed. I think Rob Flynn sounds fantastic during that chorus. And then, after that it was like, I feel my catharsis, and it's like one of the most fucking metalcore riffs of all time right there. It's like, okay, this isn't bad. I wish that had a little bit more pop to it on the album. I'm sure live that's fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah,
and the crowd's just going fucking ape shit. Beyond the Pale, I don't mind. It's just the chorus is a little like meh to me on that song, but then to me is when it just starts fucking nosediving is California Dreaming. I think, and that's when this album to me is just really kind of exposed with how bad the lyrics are and the delivery of them, because California Dreaming is fucking atrocious in that way. And then you get to Kaleidoscope, and Kaleidoscope's not bad. Most, like, the chorus is okay. But when Rob Flynn's go like, I don't give a fuck, it's like, you fucking 8th grader? Like, come on, man. It just sounds awful. And then in the middle, when they come back to that, he keeps saying it over and over again. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And then it gets to Bastards, and I just think Bastards is fucking terrible from top to bottom. And here's the thing. Some of these songs lyrically, I totally understand the theme and the message that Rob Flynn's trying to go for, and Bastards is certainly one that really stands out of like, okay, the message of this song is good.
Yeah.
But the delivery of it is fucking terrible. And to me, there's two parts in this song. One's more just about the song as a whole, but to me, the part where Rob Flynn's just going like, no, 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 fuck no, 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 no. I'm like, how do you listen to that and think it's good? I don't understand. You wrote The Blackening and Locust, and even Bloodstones is Diamonds is good. Their debut album, Burn My Eyes, is fucking great. Through the Ashes of Empires is great. You listen to that and go, it's different, people need to like it, it's good. What the fuck? I just don't understand. And then, to me, like, the music behind that song, like, the band and everything, just sounds like they just kind of, Rob Flynn was just kind of jamming in their space, and the whole band just kind of does random shit, and they're like, yeah, that's good, let's do it. It's like, that song, oh my god. And then I honestly think the worst song on the album is Triple Beam. And
Triple B, there's like I said, there's like one part. There's like parts.
Yeah.
But the whole song is not
I get what they were trying to go with this song, but holy shit, like, this is one of those songs where, like, Rob Flynn, he can either nail it with this, like, I'm gonna talk like this sort of thing. He either nails it or he fucking doesn't. And this, I just, what this song made me think of, maybe a lot of you have seen it because it's a very popular channel, maybe not. It instantly made me think of Angry Joe's Godzilla review from a few years ago.
Oh, God.
So with Godzilla, the video game, they keep saying Godzilla is approaching the generator. Godzilla is approaching the generator over and over again. And every time, the amount of fucking times they say, when you balance life on a triple beam, it just made me think of that. When you balance life on a triple beam, you're like going fucking insane. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? I don't know. But then, like, the middle section of the album, I'm like, there's moments. Like, Behind the Mask is really good. Heavy Lies the Crown has riffs.
I think vocally
Yeah, because it gets to, like, the main verse a few minutes into the song, and it has a fucking badass riff. And I love it. And then Rob Flynn comes in with the vocals, I'm like,
come on, man.
I don't know. I just think these could be a little bit different and better, just fit the song a little bit. But then later on, like, there's some solid moments in that song, and I just think Hope Begets Hope and Screaming at the Sun are just fucking forgettable. Same with Psychotic. Grind You Down's fucking terrible. Razorblade Smile is terrible on vocals. When he starts saying he has boners for miles, and he's eating pussy, I'm like, what the fuck are you...
Like that, like that's what I mean, like, underneath it. Like, the music, like that opening riff, I'm like, yeah. And then the vocals come in, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like, again, if that maybe happened earlier in the album, I might not hate that song as much, but...
It's not a terrible album, but this is absolutely not something I'm going to put on for Machine Head all the time. I'm probably never going to listen to this album in its entirety ever again. Maybe I'll throw on a song or so from this album, but I get wanting to do something different, because if you look at their past 4 albums especially, they peaked with The Blackening.
Yeah.
And you go, okay, if we're going to continue to do this, it's not going to get better than that. Yeah. Probably. You know, but at the same time, I feel with those 4 albums especially, they really found who they were. Because, you know, Burn My Eyes, their first album is cool, and their second album's not bad, and it definitely is something a little bit different. Then they got in this weird new metal sort of phase, and that just felt a little lost. And then they did Through the Ashes of Empires and The Blackening, and it's like, this is fucking Machine Head. This is the Machine Head everybody thinks of when they think of this band. So I get wanting to do something different, but just because it's different, you know, you can't expect people to just like that. Yeah. And I fully get that people like the same stuff over and over again, but, you know, you pointed to Black Sails...
Sailing Into the Black.
Sailing Into the Black, yeah. And I was going to say Black Sails at Midnight. I'm like, no, that's Hailstorm.
Hailstorm, nope. I mean,
wrong thing.
Close.
Yeah, but like, that's a fucking great song. Or I point to Darkness Within from Locust. I'm like, that's something that's different for Machine Head. It's fucking cool. You know? They have moments like that, and I feel with that sort of style, there's so much shit that you could do with it. But then some of these songs, like, I just do not understand how they listen to it and just go, this is fucking cool, let's put this out. You know, that goes with some of the other just terrible albums in metal. Like, how did Megadeth listen to Super Collider and go, great? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't... I don't get that stuff. And to me, this album's just a little lost of kind of what it wants to be, because there's cool riffs, there's some cool, like, Machine Head guitar harmony sections,
like riffs, and
which that's fucking Machine Head. And that's one of the things that makes them really cool. And I'm like, some of these sound really good, but then a lot of times it just falls on its face when the vocals come in and it's all put together. It's like,
yeah. Like I said, it grew on me a little bit. I'm like, okay, because like some of the stuff I'm like, yeah, but like I think again, not to beat a dead horse, but it's mostly, for me, it's mostly the vocals. Definitely. I'm sorry, and it's mostly what it is. Yeah,
definitely. Of course.
I mean, I could maybe give it like I'm gonna say 6.5, but maybe at the highest like a 7. But even then, no, I'm gonna stick with the 6.5.
I'm gonna go 6 out of 10. Like I think it has solid moments, but I think for the most part, it's either kind of forgettable or the bad is just gonna stick in my memory more.
Then that's the issue, which it kind of sucks because I could honestly see again because I'm just gonna hammer that I really like the song. I could see Behind a Mask being like one of my favorite songs all year. I could totally see it because I really like that song. Like it kind of sucks that that's like I think one of the best Machine Head songs they've written in years, and then it's here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see like the overall reaction to this album, like not only like first week sales, but also like touring. Like they're doing a tour right now, and it's selling very well. Some of the shows are sold out where it's just them performing for a long time, and that could be fucking awesome. And I could see some of these songs just being fucking honestly neat live.
Yeah.
But beyond that, what's the reception of this band for sure? Because they've been taking their time for sure putting out albums. They put one out 3-4 years. Like,
yeah.
If the reception of this isn't good, are they going to turn around and pump something out in 2 years?
Or are they going to take even longer?
Yeah, like who knows? It'll be interesting to see where this band goes, because this album definitely puts them in a very interesting space. Yeah, let us know what you think of Catharsis by Machine Head. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
And thank you. Last I checked, we had 2016 subscribers.
Ooh.
So let's get 2 more.
Let's get to 2018. And then